Following Shang Yang's reform, the western state of Qin rapidly grew into the most powerful among the 7 warring states. None of the eastern states could resist Qin on their own. For the survival of these eastern powers, a renowned political strategist and diplomat named Su Qin emerged, promoting a vertical alliance. A coalition of the 6 eastern states united as a single front to deter Qin's aggression. Because these 6 states were aligned north to south on the eastern side of China, their cooperation visually resembled vertical lines, hence the term vertical alliance. This alliance successfully checked Qin's expansion for 15 years. However, Qin countered with a horizontal alliance strategy. Lines drawn from Qin in the west to each of the 6 states individually, developed by another influential strategist, Zhang Yi, who served as Qin's prime minister. This approach aimed to divide and conquer. Both Su Qin and Zhang Yi were brilliant persuaders, true salesmen of political strategy. Su Qin's vertical alliance. 3 key steps. Step 1. Convincing Hao as initiator. Su Qin first targeted the state of Hao, which bordered Qin and thus felt the greatest immediate threat. As one of the more powerful eastern states, Hao had both the capacity and the motivation to resist Qin. Su Qin successfully persuaded Hao to spearhead the alliance. Step 2. Securing the other 5 states. He then approached the remaining states, customizing his appeals based on each ruler's psychological profile and geopolitical condition. His rhetoric masterfully blended objective analysis with strategic flattery. For instance, when speaking to the King of Qi, the easternmost and coastal state, Su Qin declared, "Shielded by Mount Tai in the south, the Lanjia Cliffs in the east, the Qing River to the west, and the Bohai Sea to the north, Qi is impregnable. With a territory spanning 1,000 miles, granaries overflowing, and troops as sharp as blades and swift as arrows, how could such a formidable kingdom submit to Qin? If your majesty did so, I would truly feel ashamed on your behalf." Inspired by these words, the King of Qi proudly joined the alliance. Step 3. Establishing unified leadership. Finally, Su Qin was appointed the joint prime minister of the 6 states, tasked with coordinating military and diplomatic efforts. The formation of this confederation, and its public declaration to Qin, effectively deterred any aggression from the western state for 15 years. In those years, the alliance ensured peace and stability for the common people, a rare accomplishment during such turbulent times. Shang Yi's horizontal alliance. Divide and conquer. Qin, unwilling to remain constrained by the Eastern coalition, turned to cunning diplomacy. Prime Minister Zhang Yi devised the horizontal alliance strategy, an approach that targeted each state individually, offering tempting promises to break the unity of the vertical alliance. His most famous and illustrative success was with the state of Chu. This case exemplifies a 3-step process Zhang Yi masterfully employed. Step 1. Lure with profits. Zhang Yi approached the King of Chu with an enticing offer. "Qin wishes to be your loyal friend. If your majesty severs ties with Han and joins us, we can conquer Han together and share its land. Moreover, Qin will cede 600 miles of territory to Chu as a gesture of goodwill." Although many of his advisors warned against trusting Qin, the King of Chu, blinded by ambition, accepted the deal. Chu launched an attack on Han, officially defecting from the vertical alliance and dealing a serious blow to regional unity. Step 2. Provoke by betrayal. Once Chu had committed to Qin's plan and sent an envoy to claim the promised land, Zhang Yi staged his next move. He suddenly claimed to be ill and avoided meeting the envoy for several months. When he finally reappeared, Zhang Yi led the envoy to a map and pointed to a small town. "Here are 6 miles for the state of Chu. You may take this decree and claim your land." Stunned, the envoy protested. "Distinguished Prime Minister, you promised 600 miles, not 6. Zhang Yi replied coldly, "That is your business." With that, the envoy was left standing alone in humiliation. The betrayal enraged the King of Chu, who felt deeply insulted. Step 3. Crush with overwhelming force. Driven by anger and wounded pride, Chu hastily mobilized its army to attack Qin without proper preparation or strategic foresight. This was exactly what Zhang Yi had anticipated. Qin, already allied with Han, launched a coordinated counterattack from both fronts. Chu was crushed. This defeat not only weakened Chu militarily but also shattered trust among the 6 eastern states. If Chu, one of the stronger members, could be so easily tricked and humiliated, what hope did the others have? Suspicion spread, the vertical alliance crumbled, and Qin was no longer constrained by any unified resistance. Zhang Yi's brilliance lay in his deep understanding of human nature. By exploiting greed, impatience, and pride, he destabilized the alliance without drawing a sword until the moment was right. His horizontal alliance strategy enabled Qin to divide its enemies, isolate them, and conquer them one by one. The vertical alliance was the only viable strategy for the 6 eastern states to maintain a balance of power against the rising Qin state. In contrast, the horizontal alliance served as the perfect countermeasure to undermine this united front. However, the vertical strategy was significantly more difficult to implement than the horizontal one. Su Qin had to persuade 6 independent rulers to overcome personal ambitions and commit to collective action, whereas Zhang Yi only needed to deceive a single monarch to unravel Su Qin's painstaking efforts. The vertical alliance required the states to set aside self-interest and prioritize the greater good. Zhang Yi, on the other hand, capitalized on human weaknesses: greed, the pursuit of profit, and short-sightedness to tempt rulers into betraying the alliance. For humans, indulgence is always easier than restraint. Thus, the ultimate outcome of these competing strategies was, in many ways, predictable. Understanding the strategies of vertical and horizontal alliances helps us make sense of modern geopolitics. For example, Israel, surrounded by hostile Arab nations, survived multiple wars not just through military strength, but by using diplomacy to isolate its enemies. Like Qin, Israel forged strategic ties with Egypt and Jordan to dissolve the united front against it. This helps explain how a nation of under 10 million has resisted coalitions from much larger neighbors. Looking back at World War II, we understand why Chamberlain's policy of appeasement failed, and why Churchill's resolute stand against Hitler was crucial. Against a powerful aggressor, hesitation and disunity are fatal. Determination and unity are the keys to survival. In today's world, facing protectionist moves such as Trump's tariff war, the same principle applies. If other nations understand the lesson of vertical and horizontal alliances from Chinese history, they'll know that unity, not individual deals, is the key to defending their interests.